In this video, I want to talk about my ayahuasca experience. It was my first ayahuasca experience, and it was last year, 2018. I believe it was the month of February. So, just to begin the story, I have a past with using a lot of alcohol, drugs, and after a while I started to take magic mushrooms, all kinds of magic mushrooms. The magic mushrooms was actually the first time that I really opened my third eye, and I see things that really opened up my mind, and that I recognized, only I could not explain in what kind of way. I just loved it. I just really loved it, and I took a lot of mushrooms, and also I did a lot of inner healing without actually knowing it. The first time that I heard about ayahuasca was like, Sawadi Krap. I'm fine, thank you so much. The first time that I heard about ayahuasca, when I heard about it, I was like, oh, no, that's not for me, you know. I quit everything. I don't want to get on this path again. I even quit the mushrooms because the mushrooms give me a way of thinking that in that moment that I was doing it, I liked it. But now when I look back at it, I cleared my mind. When I get into silence, this is a different part. There's a lot of ego going on in it. So I think it was 2015, I went for a short holiday camping in Belgium. They call this the Ardennen, and it is a very beautiful place in the mountains, and I was on this camping on the river, and next to me my neighbor was a Belgian man, and in the evening times I would talk with him, and he told me about his ayahuasca ceremonies that he was doing with shamans coming from South America to Belgium, and all leading this whole ceremonies. And I was really like listening to it, and I liked it a lot. But I said, look, this is not for me anymore. But he said to me like, yeah, but this is not a drug, this is a medicine, this is healing. And I was like, okay, maybe, but still I don't think that is for me anymore. Actually, a year later I joined a group, like a spiritual group, and there was a moment they offered me ayahuasca ceremonies as well. And I refused. I said, no, sorry, this is not for me. I'm not going to join. And I still think that at that moment, it wasn't my time to join. Until, what was it, last year? My mother, she's spiritual. She came to me and she said, hey, listen, my son, why don't you join an ayahuasca ceremony? I said, Mom, an ayahuasca ceremony? What do you mean? She said, you want me to join an ayahuasca ceremony? And she said, yes, I know this group in the Netherlands, and they do this professionally. And they do ayahuasca ceremonies with a whole weekend. And actually the end of the weekend, then they do the ayahuasca ceremony. But they do a lot of breathing techniques and dance and healing, and you know, it's like really good organized. I said, well, okay, let's see. And then everything just went very quickly. Actually, you should already at the minimum time join like 4 weeks before the event. But I was like just a few days. I just signed up, and they just let me in, and actually without knowing anything, I was just at the group there. And we were like with a group like around 20 people, 20 plus. And they had like 7 or 8 caretakers. And then the man, and later also his wife, the woman, leading the whole weekend, the whole group. And it was actually a beautiful experience because they really opened you up. We did a lot of breathing techniques, shamanic healings techniques, a lot of dance, a lot of talking and discussion as well, lighting candles for your soul, like eating together, you know, but also like fasting. So you could like eat just a really small amount, like organic soup and things like that, and the rest was fasting. And yeah, it was like a really beautiful experience. I can tell about the whole weekend, but I just want to tell actually about the ayahuasca ceremony, because the weekend itself, the breathing techniques were also quite extreme, quite heavy not the techniques itself. It's like a breath of fire, a lot of breath of fire. But what I mean with extreme was like the emotions that came out from a lot of people at that group, like really like screaming and like heavy stuff. And sometimes I was really surprised, like you see these normal people opening up like that, and I was like, whoa man, what's going on here, what's going on there? Still everything was okay. I am more the quiet guy, so if I go within, I like to do a lot of emotional talking with someone. Then the other person helps me to clear up all the problems that I have. So what I get is like I talk a lot, but very silently, and then I get also very emotionally. I cry a lot, but also like very in a silent way, you know. I'm not the really screaming guy. I tried a few times the screaming just to try it out, but it's not really my thing. While most of the people, even if you see ayahuasca ceremonies online, you see a lot of screaming. At the day itself, we all had our own little mattress with a little blanket and something to cover your eyes, and they did like live music with flutes and drums, and they had like how you say, wierok, the nice smell, flowers, all kinds of stuff like that. The evening before that, I think last year was my fear year. I mean, when I saw my last video, I really was surprised how many times I used the word fear. But I had a little fear before, because in the last 6 years, when I opened up spiritually, I smoked a little marijuana again, and this came on so heavy to me that I was like, whoa, I really have to be careful now. I'm not the same person like I was before. So I think this is actually, it can be dangerous for me. So, and then one of the caretakers, I talked with him the evening before the ceremony, and I said, look, I have a little bit fear that maybe it will come too heavy for me. I don't know what to expect from this ayahuasca. So just keep an extra eye on me, you know, if I take it. And I will take just little bits at a time, not just whole glasses at once, just to see how it will go. And then he told me, like, he had an ayahuasca ceremony before, his first one, and he said like he thought he had to go through hell first, you know, before he could go in the healing part. And he was really convinced that it was true. And then he said, you know what happened to me at the ayahuasca ceremony? He said, I got healing, I got love. He said, I didn't get hell at all, I got love. And I was like, she said, take that in mind with you for the ceremony. So okay, I had a little tense before the ceremony. I was a little bit nervous, and I opened this also. I told this in the group before we started, and they said, okay, take your time. There's no rush, no worries. So then the ayahuasca came, and it was like a really light green, between light and dark green color. It was a really beautiful color. And just to tell you, when I was very young, I always interested very much in nature, as a kid already. And I don't know why, I had a big attraction to the Amazon and the South American jungles. I don't know why, I just had this very deep attraction. When I took the ayahuasca, I started to understand why. I could never think about that. These are really the in the unknown, the underlying layers inside of me. We got the ayahuasca. It was also like the coming back of your inner child. That was actually what the whole weekend was about. And we had a picture of me as a kid, and you should bring a few of those things. So I got the ayahuasca, and everybody took the ayahuasca. And everybody told already, the taste is like really, you know. I took a little sip of the ayahuasca. The taste is for me really strong, but it was like I was coming home. I was like, it was like, whoa! I felt this intense taste in my whole mouth, and I was like, wow! I really like this stuff, and it was my soul recognizing it. Like in past lives, I already had taken this for many times. And I swallowed it, and then just I felt it going in lines through my whole body like this, and it was a really magical experience, really magical experience. And then I got not scared anymore, so I took another sip and another glass, and then I started to be slowly. So I put the ayahuasca next to me if I wanted to take more. And then it took a little time before it started to work, but then it happened. Just like I really got this inner child, or this inner child experience. Like I was this child again. Like I was like a few years old, like 4 or 5 years old, and I started to understand, because I had experience with one of the caretakers. She told me like, no, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to go inside, you have to close yourself, and but I didn't want to do that. I just want to sit there and look the others and be happy. And then I started to understand that actually I wanted to have freedom in my life. The only thing that I really wanted from my inner child was, I don't have to do anything, I just want freedom. Yeah, very simple actually. And this is a part that I lost already when I was very young in life. When I was very young, I had an energy of a past life experience from a soldier. I'm gonna make another video of that, because that is really an amazing story. And I was gonna skip it now. So I had this feeling from the inner child, I only want to have freedom. That's the only thing that I wanted. I was in this inner child experience for a while, and then all of a sudden the mother came into me. So I get this mother energy from Mother Nature that is so different from a mother in the physical form as a human. I mean, a mother tries to be that kind of way, but she can never be, because she is a person, she is a human being with all her difficulties, and she can never be that perfect. This was the energy of Mother Nature, of Mother Earth, of the goddess herself in the pure form. It was amazing, and I felt it going through my whole body, through my whole being, and even in my whole aura energy. And the only thing that I know was this really caring and loving feeling through my whole self, and it was so amazed, and I was just crying and crying from happiness, but just really quietly, but just all these tears. And one of the caretakers, he was a guy sitting a few meters next to me, and he was looking at me, and he was feeling it. He was feeling it, and he was even crying from how I was sitting there and feeling that. And then I was looking at him, and he was looking at me, and he did like this, like yeah, and I did like him, yeah, and he was like, man. And then after a while I just said, come, please come, you know, because he just left me, because it was my experience, you know. And then he came to me, and he was like, man, I feel you, I feel it. He said to me like, I don't have this quickly with someone, you know, this inner connection, but what I feel with you, man, he's like wow, you know, you opened me up, you know, so deeply. And then I had a healing from man to man that I really need, because of my healing from my male energy, my masculine energy, you know. And I'm gonna talk, I have a story about my whole experience about healing the masculine energy. And he was like, wow, I never have this experience with someone. And then we just hugged, you know, we just hugged, and we had this healing, incredible healing. And then the lady next to me, she just she put this thing, because she was laying down, she put this thing up, and she was really rude, like, hey, you, and she called by my name. Can you shut it down? I cannot get into my inner space, you know, I cannot get into my inner self. And I was just like shocked, and actually she really ruined the whole experience for us in this beautiful moment. I still think that we had the healing that we needed, but still she ruined it all. And I just looked at the side and said, oh, okay. I was a little bit so surprised and shocked from it. I said, yeah, okay, sorry, didn't mean it. And then she just put it back, and she went into her inner self, you know. And then I just came with the guy again, and we finished, and he sit at his, where he was sitting before, and I was so shocked about it. But then after that I got so ignored when she got her inner process, because in the end she told me that she healed her the birth of her first baby, and she was like really loud, screaming, and she got help from the caretakers, and she was really, but I could not go into my inner self anymore because she was screaming so much. But the most part I get so ignored about was that I could not do my quietly talking with the guy, because she got ignored about that. But now I had to take all her loud screaming, and I could just not take it, and I could not take it anymore inner. And then I almost got really crazy, because I'm this really heavy ayahuasca trip. And then I said to one of the caretakers, I need to go to the toilet. So he helped me to the toilet, and then when we came from the toilet, I said, man, I don't know anymore if I can take this. And he said, okay, if it's really so bad, we can put you somewhere else. I said, no, because I really feel that this is also not for nothing on my path. I cannot just blame her for that, There is a reason why this is happening. And then it came like irritation, And then I said, this is irritation. And he said, that's it. And then all of a sudden I started to understand it, that I was just very irritated, and that this irritation had to come to me. And then I said, no, put me back next to her, and I'm going to confront this irritation. And then after I started to understand it, I lay down and I just took the whole irritation that I had, and I allowed it to be there, and then everything started to change. And then slowly the irritation went away, and what can I say? Then after I had a very heavy experiences about some things that I had to go through that I was really hurt about, but then the irritation came back. So after a while there was this lady, one of the caretakers, she comes and sit with me because I had it so heavily, the emotions, and she was just talking to me quietly. And then 2 times one of the caretakers, other caretakers, passed me and just said like, hey, can you be more quiet, because you disturbing the other people in their inner process. And I was like, what? I am in my inner process as well. And I told the lady, she's also a caretaker, like, am I loud? And she said, no, you're not, But then when another guy came for the second time, she said like, okay, I don't know what's going on now, but maybe this is your process, so just take it, And because she asked me, what does it does to you that he said that? I said, I get angry. Okay, go to that anger. Go there to that anger and feel there, But at the second time she just said, okay, maybe just be quietly. But then she took care of me. She felt she rubbed my back, and there was really beautiful music going on, and I was like flying, like wow, in my tears, and it was really, it was so heavy. But the processes of the other people around me, man, that is heavy, man. I didn't expect that to be that so heavy. So that was a whole experience, and after that, after a while, the ayahuasca started to go away, and the whole process ended, and we danced, and we had beautiful music, and we eat fruit, and it was just very beautiful. And I can only say the whole group felt actually like a family. And I must say, this whole irritation part, later when I came back home and I saw it with my parents also, the irritation, and I see it with other people, I really start to understand the whole irritation process, how quickly people are irritated. And this is something that ayahuasca also tried to show me, When I was coming from the toilet, when I talked to the guy, I said, do you think even ayahuasca can show you that you never want to take ayahuasca again? And he said, you are called to take ayahuasca. Ayahuasca has called you to come and take ayahuasca. It's not a coincidence. You had to be here. It is your choice, of course, to come, but you had to be here. So, and then I started to understand that part also, and that really was a relief and opened me up about the whole ayahuasca thing. And they don't call it for nothing Mother Ayahuasca. And I have something with deep connection with the goddess, with the mother. But still, I have to balance with the masculine, compared to the feminine, because the masculine is just as important to come in real balance, because the masculine really have to be there for the feminine. Always, if you only have this wonderful feminine energy, then you're only in light and in heaven and loving and all these things, and you don't allow anything from the masculine. Also with the males in your life, the connections, you know. But if you want to walk on this earth, you need the masculine to, I don't know if protection is the good word, to protect the feminine, but just to stand up for the feminine and to be equal with her, you know. That is so important, to have this strong and encouragement, and that people don't run over you, and like this strong masculine part is so important to back up, that's the word, to back up the feminine when you walk on this planet. And that is real balance, you know. And all the art that I make, all the drawings that I make are about this balance, bringing in balance the masculine and feminine energies. Now, I experienced a real masculine healing when I was in Bangkok, just after the last vlog video that I made. And actually I'm really shy to talk about that, but I'm going to make a video about it. So this was my ayahuasca ceremony experience. What I really want to say, if you are doing an ayahuasca experience, it is not only the ayahuasca that you have to confront, it is also the people in the group around you. That can also be very, very intense. So that's what I want to share with you here from Chiang Mai in the park. Have a nice day. See you next time.